Hi, evening everyone, it's Shay from Grassroots Football Adventures. Wouldn't usually do this kind of video, but as obviously I'm sure most of you know, the game tonight has been has been called off with about 25-30 minutes till kick off. Really frustrating and annoying, but yeah, the rain is hammering down quite hard. So I thought, because now there won't be the game tonight, I just thought I'd do a video. Don't really know what to talk about, but I just thought to kill a bit of time for go to sleep, do a short video. Yeah, it's the rain it's like torrential rain. It's been raining a little bit earlier today, but I don't think it was that bad from what I remember. But yeah, it seemed to be around 7:15, 10 to 7. It started bouncing down really heavy, the rain, and yeah, it's nothing anyone can do about that. But it does kind of leave me again. I'm not blaming anyone or anything, or saying that they should have known soon this was going to happen, but it kind of left me a bit confused. If the weather forecast had predicted this heavy rain, whether they would have said, we're going to call it off because we'd rather do that than call it off right before kick-off when there's... Well, I'm thinking more of the away fans, the Chase Town fans. There was a coach outside. They'd obviously travelled up. I don't know how many there was of them, but for the ones that do, they've now got like an hour 30, hour 40-minute drive back home. Probably not that long after they've got here. Sorry, I'm not laughing. It's not funny. Yeah, so, for me and Candy, obviously we only live kind of down the road, well, less than 10-minute drive. But for others, it's not going to be as quick getting back. The rain was torrential and it can't be played in that rain. It's like the Bury game when it was called off at half time. But, it's... I don't know what to say. I don't want to be one of them people that just goes, oh, yeah, I'm outraged. Oh, how dare they call it off? It's unfortunate, but part of me thinks maybe if they did know it was going to... This, shower, this downpour of rain was going to be on its way, why they didn't... Well, depends. Maybe it's the referee's choice. Maybe they have to wait for the referee to decide, because the referee obviously calls the game off, won't let it go ahead. So, but yeah, it's obviously me and Candy are away in Plymouth on Friday till Sunday this week. But I don't think there was meant to be a Linnets game. I'm wondering if maybe they will put it on Saturday now, even though we won't be in Runcorn this weekend. If they did that, then I suppose they could do that, and then they wouldn't end up being even more games behind a lot of other teams could be played. I think it's 14 games now. I think a lot of teams have played 16 and 17 games, so it's a tad frustrating that we're still a few games behind, and this one could knock us back another further, depending on when this one gets rearranged, because obviously they've got to rearrange it now. But yeah, it happened last year and the year before with the snow and the ice. It's typical this year how it's the fucking rain that's doing it this time. If it's not snow, it's not ice, it's the rain. It's felt there's always something. What's it going to be next? Fog or something? That'll be the next thing that calls a game off. So we're there about... Not even... We were there like 5 minutes, I think. I went in. We got in about 10 past, 7:15. I went to the toilet, came out, stood in the shed with Candy, and then someone told me the game's off, and the referee was like, that's it, it was off like that, and they haven't left the pitch. I thought, that's the shortest visit I've ever had there. But yeah, we'll get rearranged. I was going to maybe sort of talk about the season so far with the Linnets. I'm just getting off the subject of the game that's postponed. But yeah, I think part of the reason why it's frustrating is I feel like we're in we were in, after Saturday's win, just carry the momentum on, but that's obviously been stopped in its tracks now until we can next play again. But yeah, I think we've had a good, I think so far we're not halfway through the season yet. We've played 14 games, I believe. If I'm wrong. Oh, geez, and then when we get to 21, that'll be halfway through. So currently fifth, which is fantastic. We're finally back in the playoff places for the first time in over a year. I was reminded at the weekend that even though last year was an absolute train wreck of a season, we were in the playoffs for it was like 1 week, that was it. So it's a nice feeling to be back in there and not taking it for granted. Right now, I would take finishing fifth come end of the season. I know they say if you don't finish second, you're not guaranteed home draws, but we know what happened 2 years ago. We got second, and what happened there? Lost 2-0. So, the year before that, I think we got 2 away draws. It was Week Town and then Workington, and the Week Town game, I think it was a 3-1 win. And the Workington one, it was 2-1 after extra time, even though Doyle scored first. So we're in a great position in the league. So I'm thankful for that. We had it, obviously, I've said before, we had an amazing run in the FA Cup, making history. So that we kind of paid the price a bit for that by ending up being so far behind in the league. But as Brad said in the interview, he said you get punished for success, and you do. But I wouldn't have traded that FA Cup run just to be level, no way, because that was just incredible. And as we said with the Buxton game, we almost could touch the first round because right near the end, not their goal, I think it was 86th minute, that header off the line, or from underneath the bar by that Buxton player. I don't know how the hell he's fucking stopped that going in. That was just, if that gone in, as Brad said, we could have nicked it. We could have nicked it and made the first round, but yeah, obviously hugely proud of all the players, not just for that, but for the season so far. We've obviously had a few iffy performances. We've only had 3 defeats. Yeah, Bury away, Shifnal at home. This is the league. This is and what was the other defeat we had? God, I've completely forgotten now. But yeah, I think we've only had the 3 defeats in the league. We've had quite a few draws, but we've started to pick up points in places that we didn't get last year. Like last Tuesday, kind of didn't go to Congo, and I kind of wish I had now, considering that it's been cold off tonight. Like it was pretty rainy and stormy, I think, there. I think I don't imagine it wasn't as bad as here because it went ahead. But yeah, they say Congo, and we got 1-1 draw. Apparently, looks like we should have had a Stonewall penalty in the last minute. But obviously, after last year's 6-0 hammering, that's more than last year. And then with E-Town on Saturday losing 1-0, half time didn't look so good, and I wasn't feeling good at all because even though Scott was back, he was still on the bench. I was thinking he's going to have to come on, and he did, and had a huge effect. We won 2-1, which is brilliant. Obviously, last year we got a 0-0 draw there, so we've already picked up. Out of them 2 games last year, we got 1 point, and this one we got 4, so that's already an improvement there. The season so far I think has gone well. I'm pleased with it, and it's a long season, so you want to start the season well and end it well, but if you don't start it so great, it doesn't mean you're not going to do well. But at some point you've got to start picking up your form, and you've got to be in them playoff places at some point, I think, before the halfway point, if you realistically want a chance of going up. Breck top, I think they've got 33 or 34 points. I mean, they're doing amazing. They got promoted last year, and they've already just storming this league already. It's mad, but fair play to them. But I think they're early favourites to win the league. But I know it's still early days, so you never know. They could have a wobble, and they could have a rough patch, but if they do, it's up to the other teams, including us, when it's to capitalise on that. I felt like at times, I think 2 seasons ago when Week 10 won the league, they had a bit of an iffy patch, but even though we got second, we couldn't capitalise on their points drop, which was really annoying because I was thinking, oh God, if we'd have picked up points, we could have potentially got closer to them, even though I don't think we'd have won the league that year because we had too many disappointing performances and results. But yeah, Brad, I think he's doing a brilliant job, and I think he's done a brilliant job, as I said, since he come in for the last something like the last 12 games, I think, of last season. I know obviously the Cheshire Cup win as well, but yeah, him and Rob Saddle have done would have worked wonders, to be honest. I think, considering where we were and where we are now, I know there's been a few disappointing performances and frustrations. You say like the losing to Shifnal at home. It was a great free kick, their second goal. When I watched the highlights, it was a long way out, and you can't be too critical on someone for not defending that, but we shouldn't give the free kick away right after equalising. But they're second, actually, Shifnal. They've come into, I think they're new to the league, so they've done really well. Fair play to them. Yeah, as we said, Bury away, we had I don't make excuses, we did have a lot of players missing. We felt like half to 2/3 of the squad, and we nearly nicked a draw at the end with that. Brookie's header, really well saved by the keeper. We nearly nicked an undeserved draw at the end. So, yeah, it's just kind of bugging me because I don't know, what was the other game that we lost? I think it was a home game. Oh my God, I'll just switch way. It's going to drive me mad thinking about this. I don't know how I can't remember. Or was it an away game? Oh God. I know we got a draw at Witton where we lost last year. Witton Albion. But yeah, but so far this season we're doing really well. It's just obviously tonight. It's frustrating, but I'll probably I'll probably check Candy's social media, so I don't have social media myself. I don't use it, Facebook or anything, because I gave that up about 2 or 3 years ago. See, I am in my workplace tomorrow, so it means I can get to sleep a little bit earlier as well. So there's some pros to it not going ahead tonight, but yeah, I feel for the Chase Town fans that made the trip, and I hope the club does kind of do something for them in some way, because they say they take the risk at going, but I think it was just the timing of when it was called off. If they'd been given a couple of hours notice, hour and a half, you could say maybe they could have said no, we're not going to make the trip up, but I'm sure we'll sort something out for them. They'll probably offer them to come up again, and when it's next replayed, and let them in for maybe, I don't know, half price maybe. I'm trying to think what they did with the Bury game when it was, I think it was half price, yeah, which was nice. And then when it got abandoned at half time, because obviously we got to see half a game, Candy didn't go to the replay game, so we went to Blackpool for the weekend. But yeah, I'll look at the Winnets website, see if there's any news. But as I find, it can be, the news stories can take a bit of time to appear, so might ask to check Candy's Facebook and see if they've put any updates about. There's probably not going to be many, because the date when they rearrange it, they can't just do it now. They're going to have to. I don't know how they rearranged it, the FA or something. I'm not sure how they get it rearranged, but next day too, I'm imagining they'll be able to get it rearranged. But yeah, it's that time of year now. Like me and Candy like winter, we hate summer, but the only one of the main downsides is winter is if you do go to follow your local team and it's not a Premier League team or even a Football League team, and you get either ice, snow, or heavy rain, the chances are it will get called off because obviously at grassroots level and where league, non-league, obviously they don't have undersoil heating on the pitches because they obviously can't afford it because it's extremely expensive and you are exposed to the elements. But it's part of the fun really, non-league. But when it's hammering it down like this, or it's ice cold or it's snow, the game is always going to get called off. It's never going to go ahead. The only games that go ahead, I think, would be it's the Premier League, maybe Championship, give or take. I don't know if there's any other games on tonight. If there was, I'd be interested to see if they've been postponed. I was saying to Candy in the car, I said it'll be typical. It'll just be typical of our luck that all the other games will go ahead and there won't be any heavy rain, and then ours will be the only one that's been fucking cold off because we're the only fucking area in the northwest probably with a fucking heavy downpour. But now I don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Even now, I'm looking out the window there, and I don't even know if it's still raining heavily. Imagine that. Imagine they've called the game off now, rearranged it, and then half an hour it stops fucking raining. I know obviously the pitch is waterlogged and they couldn't, like a fucking swimming pool it was by the shed. But no, I think, even if it did, the damage has been done by this annoying downpour. So thank you, fate. I'm joking. But yeah, as I said, with the Winnets form this season, I think they've been in good form, and I've been really, I've been impressed, and I'm not getting carried away. It's obviously a long season, and as I've said a million times, I think all Winnets fans just want promotion. They don't care whether they finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth. As long as they go up, it does not matter. All that matters is going up, really, and season 9 in this level. You think it's been a while, but it took a while to get out of the northwest counties. I believe when I was looking back at results from them days, I think when they went up in 2018, I think they got just over 100 points. I think they beat a team called Squires Gate, which is based in Blackpool. I think that's when they clinched it. I think they were away, but I've seen a video on YouTube of them, the presentation at home. I kind of wish I'd started going, and I felt like I missed out on all that stuff and kicking myself when I watched that stuff. And I think, But yeah, as we say every year, fingers crossed. Just maybe we can dream. Yeah, well, but yeah, good season review so far. I'd say good. I'd say I don't like to do these marks out of 10 and these so many stars. If I had to, I'd say like 8 out of 10 and 4 out of 5 stars. But it's where you finish at the end of the season. If we're in the top 5, I'm happy with that. Whatever position we get, whether we will be fortunate enough to overhaul Lower Breck and overtake him, it takes some effort, but who knows? But yeah, finishing anywhere in the top 5, I'll take now because I just want to be in with the chance of going up. And as you say, our way form is better now, so I would be more confident than I have been in the past if we had to go away somewhere, even if it was to somewhere like Bury or I don't know, Chasetown, or just trying to think who else might be in the playoffs come the end of the season. It could be anyone, you never know. The league is very tight. There's not much between second and like 12th or 13th. But yeah, I'll probably wrap this up in a few minutes. I don't want to waffle on too long, but I'll probably ask Candy to put this on quite soon. Because she's uploaded some other videos. We haven't really done any filming for a little while. We've had a few things going on. I won't say on here, but we've had a lot of things going on which have taken priority over this. And it's not that we don't want to do this anymore. It's just sometimes you've got to prioritise things when you have things come up, and we've had to put this on the back burner for a little bit. But you know, sometimes you do. Life gets in the way. Sometimes things happen, and yeah. So it looks like we will be, well, unless this game is rearranged for this weekend, we'll be away next. I can't remember who we were meant to play in after Chase. I think it was an away game. Was it? Oh no, Stalybridge is the 22nd. We're on the coach for that. Oh, is that Staley? Oh yeah, it is. Oh yes, Stalybridge. Yeah, a week Saturday. Of course, yeah, we're booked on the coach for that. God, kind of. Now I'm getting almost 40. I think my memory's starting to go a bit of early onset Alzheimer's. Yeah, Stalybridge away, which is always it's always eventful when we played them. Last year was twice when we come 2-0 down at their place to win 3-2, and then 2-0 down at home to win 3-2. But we've got a good record against them, but obviously that doesn't mean anything. You've still got to turn up. They'll always be desperate to beat us, considering the Cheshire Cup final when we beat them 3-0. I think we've won the last 5 meetings, yeah. Because the season we kind of started going 23-24, we beat them 1-0 away, and we beat them 1-0 at home. Yeah, it was 1-0, and then last year the 2-3-2s and the 3-0 cup final win. Yeah, it's but yeah, going to Stalybridge's Granboa Fold, I think it's called. Is tough as always. I just don't think I could take another 3-2, especially not being 2-0 down. I'll take a boring, scrappy 1-0 win. But yeah, I imagine that'll be the next game. Stalybridge away. We'll be on the coach. Looking forward to it. I'm glad we've got a seat on the coach, because it's a pain in the ass to drive to. I drove 2 years ago. I got a space in the car park, but God, it was like there wasn't a lot of space, and the stupid sat nav took me the fucking shit way. There's 2 ways to get there, and I thought typically it would take me across the fucking country lanes where there's like one section where it narrows and there's only room for 1 car. But no, coach will be always a safer bet. But yeah, hopefully that won't get called off, because it won't do it. Not the when it's game. It's always our home games that seem to get called off. That's funny. I've just thought, funny fact, I don't remember the last time an away game was called off that we were involved in, that we played. It's always been a home game usually. You think of the ice and snow games that were called off, the road games called off. Else was called off. But I know I just feel like it's always been home. But yeah, I'll wrap up now and take care, everyone. Disappointing that they've called it off last minute, but yeah, I didn't have a choice with how bad weather was. It's just, whether they could have done it a bit sooner, but maybe they couldn't. Maybe it wasn't forecasted. Weather can do funny things like that, and it's not easy because no one wants it called off. But yeah, good position so far in the league. Season's going well. Happy with that. Let's hope we can continue that on the 22nd away at Stalybridge. So we'll see you all then. Take care. Bye.